implementation of this policy to bring some kind of confidence in the public school.
And so that those who want to do for about 10 years or
the work we are taking out of this conference, that would happen. You can have my word for it. You see what you can also present to the government and see what they can come up with. But at this point, I can't really mention. Some people think and at the point they contracted with the rich they have. And so for me, it's for us.
If you want to be a proprietor of a school, and that makes it difficult sometimes when you go and we ask for the freebies. And once you become more accountable, parents will have confidence in you and you're able to get things done properly. So with this policy, the first step actually is to engage our parents. We want to continue with the engagement. You want to talk to them, put the bill into their bill sheets, let them understand what it feels like, so that by the time we are rolling early next year, first term, it becomes easier.
Insurance is the way to go for us as citizens and as business people, because for you to protect any valuable asset you have, there's a need for you to take a cover that will reinstate you when the unexpected happens. And like you said, we're trying to expand the insurance penetration rate. We want to make sure that every household would have heard or have signed up to one policy or the other. And that is why we are bringing all the schools together to do this for them. We want to make sure every school private school within the country is having a cover that is going to take care of the parents, the teacher, the worker, the pupils, and even the proprietors themselves. And then make sure that when anything happens, the schools can have something to fall back on and not have to always rely on other forms of claims, and to make sure that legitimate claims are paid and they are paid on time. And so what we do is that once you work through us, Western Insurance Brokers, we would make sure that every item you have insured, every single thing you have paid for, you would get your money when the need arises. Most of the time, people go to insurance companies directly. And so when something happens, they can decide, and you are not able to put your case well, you may not get compensated. But because we are professionals in the field, we take our time to look at the contract, because insurance is a contract. You are paying a premium for some assured to be paid to you in future. And so you need to make sure that the person who is leading you or whoever is leading you has the requisite competencies to break down the policy for you, so that when you need to make a claim, there wouldn't be any problems for you, so you get your money on time. And that's what we do at Western Insurance Brokers, and we do it well.
That jurisdictions, they have similar approaches where when you're out of work, in case of bereavement, the child does not suffer. The schooling of the child does not suffer. I think it's something similar that they are trying to do here. It is not a government program. It's a private entity that has come up to help. Now, if you're a parent and you see it fit and you contribute to it, then it's like any kind of insurance, you get a benefit from it. So for me, I'm looking at the learner, the benefit to the learner, that the learner does not lose the benefit of education just because the parent cannot afford it or something untoward has befallen the parents. So from that perspective, I think it's a good initiative. In terms of falling in line, I will reference the National Insurance Commission's letter that I received, where it says that entities running businesses should have some kind of insurance coverage. So in terms of there's a child in the school that has an accident, that there's some coverage that the parent can fall on to take care of the children. Those aspects, yes, it falls in our policy, because the law that we operate with, the Act 1023, says we should ensure that children are learning in a safe environment. So for that matter, yes, it falls in our policies that schools protect themselves through some form of insurance or some form of organized medium for when they cannot afford to take it out of their mainstream operation, that they can have insurances and other entities to fall on to help.
So in the nutshell, will they entreat their parents to enroll?
I will entreat the parents to enroll, I entreat the private school proprietors also to look into the benefits in the package. It's a lot of information they've shared here today. So look at your personal goal running a school. and see what part of the benefits applies to you and how it can benefit your learners. And then call them, let them give you full explanation and few assurances. And if you see that you are convinced, sign up with them.
Conditions and all that. So as part of strategies to put private schools on track, we have to consult some think tank. And fortunately, we laid our hands on African Center for Policy Development and Planning. And they have come up with what we call an intervention policy called Child Education Support Policy. So this afternoon, as part of the development of the policy, we have to meet all stakeholders, including regulators from the education, i.e. National Inspectorate Authority, and the Parliamentary Select Committee on Education, Ministry of Education, and Insurance Commission to deliberate on how best these policies can be fashioned in the private schools. Discussion as to how best the private schools, teachers, proprietors, head teachers, and children will benefit from this package. The policy is looking at how best they will be able to give them some sort of incentives in terms of death, critical illness, let's say permanent disability, redundancy, scholarship schemes, providing legal support, and also, let's say, debt recovery systems for the private schools so that parents will feel at ease, proprietors will feel at ease, and at any point in time there are any challenges, they will be able to, let's say, come out from it.
So every now and then, new things come up. The question to ask is whether the change is going to make our schools better. Will it guarantee our children to get quality education? Will it ensure that our teachers will feel happier in schools? Will it be easier for our parents? Will our parents be getting their value for money? Those are the questions that I ask. So when I initially saw this policy from Africa Center, those are some of the questions I asked. And I look at it and I saw that as quite comprehensive. Apart from the issues of what people will say that, are they going to add something more to our school fees? I think the whole idea is fine. It's supposed to cater for vulnerabilities, to cater for eventualities that we don't plan for. Somebody don't know what will happen and your parents, you might lose your parents, and because of that you cannot continue with school. You will get injured, and then because of that you are not able to continue with school for some time. All these things have been looked at. Apart from that, I believe that for the schools to continue to improve, we need to strengthen our capabilities. And so if there are measures that will be used to check to see how schools are doing against standards, and that itself will guarantee that overall our contribution to Ghanaian education will see improvements. I think that is about it. It won't come easy. Like I said, it won't come easy. But we need to be able to look at the thing more broadly, continue to discuss with all stakeholders, our parents, and every other person who will be involved. Because for us, we're in the knowledge industry. What we get, we procure, we give back to the parents. They are the end users and they are ones who are paying for it. Hopefully, we are looking at a time when government will say one day that, yes, continue to charge the school fees, but I will take care of the payments on behalf of the parents. When that time comes, we'll be free. But for now, as it is now, we just have to continue to engage and work hand in hand to make sure that we have quality schools that are churning out quality outcomes.
My comment was based on the fact that most of the time you hear the private school teachers complain a lot about the fact that they are also supporting government. As I indicated, they contribute to 30% of the students in school. So if government is coming up with policies, there could be a way it can consider some of the teachers in the private schools because of their contribution towards we attaining the SDG Goal 4. So in that regard, we just look at the policy they are presenting and then look at the aspect that need advocacy work to be done to get the buy-in of government. It can be in any form. It could be government throwing their support for the policy so that parents will not resist it. That is a very good advocacy platform that we can use to get government to make parents aware that, yes, We want to cushion the teachers in the private school. We want them to own the school. We want you yourself, because it's not just for the teachers. The parents are part, the children are going to be insured. So if we get government throwing its wings behind this policy, it will be a very successful one.
Thank you for watching Nation One TV. Kindly subscribe for more news updates.